Saan ako i-accept ang mga tao. Dungan ko ni Maday. Doy. Gaday. Dungan ko ni mo. Dungan ko ni Maday. Day. Rose, can you hear me?
I'm just gonna mute myself for right now, and hop off video just for a quick few minutes. Okay, welcome everyone. Let me get this. Ugh, why is this not working? You know, Zoom and me do not get along, I'm telling you. Do you guys see me on video?
Yes.
Okay, as long as that matters, that's fine. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. Perfect. So are you guys familiar? I want to see how many people in here are familiar with factually disputing, or where is it that you guys struggle with when it comes down to how to factually dispute? You can unmute yourselves or you guys can type it in the chat, but I want to see where everyone's at with this method?
Yeah. So I'm familiar with factual disputing. Um, I understand it's just basically identifying, certain flaws in the report. The main thing I struggle with is just kind of like just kind of confused about like highlighting the errors and like attaching it to the report or attaching it to the dispute. So I just kind of wanted to be more clear on that part of it.
Okay, cool. So definitely when it comes, I'm going to show you guys the method, obviously, but I'm going to answer a few questions regarding how to factually dispute. So when it comes down to factually disputing, you don't want to upload this electronically, like when it comes down to the CFPB or when you're creating the FTC. Normally we go to the CFPB to upload our documents. But when it comes down to factually disputing, especially if you are printing out a copy of your credit report, you want to physically mail this out to the credit reporting agencies. So that is how you're gonna end up highlighting, and that is if that's the route you're gonna go, which is two ways. You can actually just put it in your dispute letter, which is the negative accounts that you're going to point out the inaccuracies in, or you're just gonna print out a copy of your credit report and you're gonna highlight or circle on the physical copy what the inaccuracy is that you're pointing out to them, and you're gonna send it via mail to them. I personally would send it certified mail to the credit reporting agencies, but that is really a personal preference. Does that make sense?
With or without return receipt.
So the return receipt is a little bit more pricey, so that's really up to you. You can definitely do either or. It's just more cheaper to go with just the regular certified mail.
What's
But
more
it's
effective, printing out or letters?
So one way is not more effective than the other. I've seen results with both. It's just really like a personal preference how the person likes to make those inaccuracies visible to the credit reporting agencies. But really both works.
So, but what have you seen more success with printing versus mail the letters, or kind of both is okay?
Yep, there hasn't been much of a difference. It really, again, depends on how you personally like to dispute. I would definitely, if I would have seen a difference, I would have definitely stuck to one method, which is like printing it out. But the fact that there isn't much of a difference, I like to just stick with the dispute letter and just list out the inaccuracies on a PDF than printing out the credit report, because that's just more work for me. You got to print off the credit report, you got to start circling, highlighting things, and then you got to physically go to the postal office, which you can do, like I said. However, there's just two ways to go about it.
Hey Denise, this is Monique. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi. So I talked to Donna about this when she did her Q&A, but it's always
Yeah.
good to get another opinion. And Donna and I were trying to figure this out. So anyway, on Experian, I had two loans from Navient, which are closed and charged off. I did a dispute and they deleted one of the loans, but they didn't delete the other one. So could I do factual disputing with Experian for that? Like they're both with the same company, but two different loans. But how did you verify one but not verify the other and deleted it? Like,
If
how
they
would you
just
do
make
factual
it,
disputing with that?
you can if is it reporting on more than one credit?
It's reporting on the other bureaus too, though.
Okay,
Both of
yeah.
them are reporting on the other bureaus, but then Experian deleted one of them and left the other one. So I'm like, well, if
Yeah,
I can
they're
get both of
really
them off Experian.
they're really difficult. Sometimes they'll choose either or. A lot of the times they won't delete all at once. You definitely are gonna have to submit that again. Did you factually dispute the other one that they deleted?
No, no.
Okay.
I don't even remember what method I used. I think it was one of the like, how did you verify this information? Send me your methods, blah, blah, blah. I think it was that one.
Then I would go again. If this was me, I would go again and send in that same dispute. Like I would reword the letter and
Mm-hmm.
asking them how they verify this information, who did they speak to,
Mm-hmm.
state the date that Experian sent you that letter. For example, Experian mailed me back a response regarding my dispute where I pointed out, or whatever way you method, whatever
Mm-hmm.
method you have to use. I would put that in there and say, how did you guys verify this account? Experian told me on this XYZ date that it was verified. I would like to know who you guys spoke with, what date, and just go from there. I'd be very
Okay.
specific.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So going back to your question, Denise, I don't know what factual disputing is. I'm brand new to that process. I'm more familiar with Metro 2 compliance, which is what I used the first time to fix my credit. So I'm brand new newbie. So definitely speak layman terms, please.
No problem. I will for sure do that. So we're gonna start off. I'm gonna start sharing my screen, guys, so you guys can start learning what factually disputing is. Basically, factually disputing comes down to you looking over your credit report and you're just pointing out the inaccuracies that are on your credit report, and that's per account. So let's say, for example, you have an account with Navy Federal, right? And you see it on your credit report, but you're looking at your credit report and you see that some dates are wrong. Like, for example, for TransUnion, they're reporting that the date that that account was opened was maybe November of 2014, right? But you look on TransUnion for that same account, I'm sorry, for Experian on that same account, and they're reporting that the date was opened was October of 2012. Those are two inaccuracies because why is it one account? It's the same account, but they are reporting different dates for multiple things. Those are inaccuracies. So that's what factually disputing is when you are factually pointing out the errors within that account to the credit reporting agencies. And we're able to delete these items or these accounts because, we are entitled to an accurate and fair credit report. And that's not accurate if you're reporting different dates on one account. Which one is it? Did I open it in November or did I open it in October? You guys can't guess because if we're guessing that account doesn't even belong to me then. So you need to
Right.
delete it.
Right.
So that's basically what factually disputing is. So I'm gonna go into sharing my screen, guys, so you guys can see in the
I
magic
wanted to
erase.
ask a quick question real quick
Oh yeah,
before we get started. Sorry.
no, you're
When
good.
I think about this and I think about dates, my mind goes to like Experian. Always, for all accounts, they report the first. Does this still work? Even if you say, like I bought my house on the 18th of January, but they report it effective the first of every month for every account. It's like the first. Is that the same?
So that technically wouldn't be the same. It's just what you're physically looking at on the dates. So if they are reporting accurately, but so you have documentation that you purchased it on another date, right? Oh,
Right.
there goes my.
All of the accounts are the first with Experian. They go back to the first, but it doesn't have, it's always the first of the month that you purchase.
And when did you what was the exact date? Like, is that not the correct
Well,
date when you purchased?
no, I bought my house. It's before I bought my house. So I bought my house January 18th, 12th of 2018, but they're
Mhm.
reporting it 1/1 of 2018. On
That's
only on Experian, not TransUnion and Equifax. They're right.
So when it comes down to houses, because obviously I haven't purchased a home, so I'm not sure how that goes. But when it comes down to credit cards, you know how when you
Mm-hmm.
have to make your payment for a credit card, however,
Mm-hmm.
they don't show the date that you paid it. They show the date where it's your statement date, which is the date that they
Mm-hmm.
report that information. So I'm not sure if
Mm-hmm.
that's the same way that it works for houses, where
Okay.
they're not going to show the purchase date of when you purchased the home, but when they reported it. Does that make sense?
It does. It
Okay.
does. And bureau to bureau should be somewhat similar. So if TransUnion says the 12th or maybe the 2nd or whatever, that's
Mhm.
where we have the issue. And Equifax has another date. That's where we have the issue because they're not consistent across all three, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
All right. Gotcha. Okay. Cool beans. I'm shutting up.
So real quick, before you begin, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I know you're like, I'm ready to start. This is you. I don't know if it was you or someone else, but is this what you're doing when you say marking up your reports? Is this that?
Yeah, so when it comes down to marking up your reports, yeah, this is factually disputing where you do mark up your credit reports if you would
Okay.
like to, but there's also marking up collection letters. So there's two different
Oh,
disputing.
okay. Okay.
So this is obviously for those new members, this is the Magic Eraser course. I want to go back to where you guys can actually find it for those who actually don't know. This is my back office. I purchased so many things from the Bennett's, so don't mind that. We're gonna get into the Magic Eraser course, and once you scroll down, let me get back up here. Once you scroll down, there's a section that specifically Dom goes over for factually disputing. I'm gonna just like reiterate that whole video, make it a little bit shorter. Let me go validation, factually disputing. So you guys have to take your time going through these sections because they put so much information out there for you guys. A lot of the times, your answer's right here. This is where I get all my answers. All right. So once you get to the factually disputing section, they have letter templates for you. So I kind of just wanted to go over what they state within the disputing letter. They have one for each credit bureau. So you guys are able to take this or you guys can reword it. Again, these are just letter templates for you guys to use. You don't have to copy it word by word. But this is where Dom emphasizes that you have to make sure that you attach your credit report showing your inconsistencies. So this is where you would print out your credit report. Okay, this is where you would print it out. You have a physical copy. Now, before I get into how you're going to mark up the letters and XYZ, we're going to include our personal information. It's going to be your name, your address, your social security number, and your date of birth. Now, this is the Experian's mailing address. And within this letter, it's going to state, in the attached copy of my credit report, I have clearly highlighted and pointed out inaccurate reporting on the following account. Now, let's say, for example, you're not going the route of where you're printing out the credit report, right? And you're just going to add it to this dispute letter. You would basically remove or reword this first sentence because you're not going to attach a copy of your credit report. You're just going to list the inaccuracy right below this. So you would copy this whole thing and put it on a PDF, and you would edit it to where you would include the inaccuracies right below this, the semicolons right here, okay? But let's say you are let's say you're printing off the credit report, right? You're clearly highlighted and pointed out the inaccurate reporting on the following accounts. You're going to list them right below. I'm not an expert, but the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, does clearly state that the credit report needs to be 100% accurate and consistent. As of right now, it is neither accurate or consistent. I am writing this letter demanding that this inaccurately reported account be removed from my credit profile due to the inaccuracy and inconsistency. Again, we're just emphasizing that the credit report, that account, it's showing inaccuracy and inconsistencies, and that is a violation of your rights because you are entitled to a fair and accurate credit report. This request is not being made in error because they love coming back to say that this was made in error and they're not going to do nothing about it. So we make sure that we put a halt into that before they can even say that it was an error. We want to make sure we put this in here. This request is not being made in error. And I will be contacting both the other bureaus that are also in violation of reporting this account inaccurately. Now, Dom does state that you should not, let's say you have multiple inaccuracies, right? Let's say that we're looking at a Bank of America account on your credit report. And you see that the balance reporting for that is $3,000, right? And it's inaccurately reporting on the other two as $2,000. But then you also see that the date opened was November of this year, but then the other two credit reporting agencies are reporting it opened as, as 2022, right? So you see two different type of inaccuracies. The balance, which is not correct because they were reporting 3,000 and 2,000. And let's say that the dates are also incorrect. You just want to focus on one inaccuracy at like per letter. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
So you're saying even if you see multiple inaccuracies on a specific account, just highlight and focus on one. So I guess if if for whatever reason they verify, you could use the other one, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
So that way you don't run out of inaccuracies. You can't just put all your inaccuracies on there. And let's say you submit the dispute letter, but guess what? They verified it, or they say that they're not going to delete it. Well, you have nothing now to keep disputing, So we want to make sure
Denise, you
that we're
got some good questions in the chat too. They're asking the whole credit report or just the corresponding page?
Thank you for that, because I'm gonna get lost in the sauce in here, guys. The whole credit report, just the corresponding page. So you can print out the whole credit report. You're just going to circle and highlight the inaccuracy that you're disputing. So if you're just disputing the balance on that one account, you can print out the whole page, but you're gonna circle and highlight the balance only. Okay? Can you put multiple accounts on the letter? Okay, so yeah, that's what I was just going over. So you definitely can put on different accounts. You can, but I like to be, again, this is just a personal preference. If I have multiple accounts, let's say I'm disputing an account on Navy Federal and I'm disputing one inaccuracy, but I also want to dispute Bank of America with one inaccuracy for Experian, you could do that. You just can't dispute multiple inaccuracies on one account. You can, but I suggest you don't. You just dispute one inaccuracy per account.
Good. I want
Wait,
to
say that
clarify.
again, Denise. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So you want me to repeat that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know that was a little bit too much. So what happens is that what you would like to do is that you can put multiple accounts that you see inaccuracies on, right? You can put multiple accounts, but you can just highlight one inaccuracy per account. So if you are disputing Bank of America, Navy Federal, Chase Bank, those are 3 different accounts, but you only want to point out one inaccuracy per account.
Cameron!
And I was going to clarify when you said, I asked the question about the corresponding page, you said print out the entire report. But if I'm dealing with Equifax and I printed out their entire report, but I only have page 5 and 6 that have the inaccuracies, do I send the entire report or do I
No.
just send those pages?
Yeah, you would send those pages that have those accounts on there.
Okay, okay. And what's the maximum number of inaccuracies that you recommend putting in a letter? Like like Bank of America, Navy Federal, Bank OZK, how many is it? Like 5 or 10?
You can put as many accounts as you have. Like, let's say for Experian, you want to dispute about 10 accounts that have inaccuracies on them, right? That reporting on Experian. You're going to put all those 10 accounts on this letter, but you're only going to point out one inaccuracy per account.
Right. Okay. Okay.
You're good,
And
Monique.
Denise, also to clarify, you want to it's better to send the credit reports that have like all 3 listed, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, the
Like the
identity
3,
IQ,
yeah, you
because
want to
they're
really send,
right next to each other. So it
right,
won't
Yes.
get
that's how,
confused. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yes, you can
okay.
definitely do it that way as well, because they're gonna be physically seeing it. They're able to match up per credit bureau what's reporting inconsistently. So it's a higher chance that you'd be able to get that deleted.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, for the bottom here of the letter, it clearly states that you just want to electronically sign your name. You don't want to physically sign it because you just don't want them to have your signature on file. So make sure that you guys don't print this off, this letter here, and completely sign it. Just electronically sign this. So I'm going to pull up, I want to pull out some accounts that you guys, so that way you guys can take a look at some examples of 2 accounts I have here for you guys. So this is one account, right? This is an example account. I want you guys, whether you want to put it in the chat or you want to unmute yourselves, but I want you guys to look at this report here and let me know what is some inconsistencies that you guys may see.
The balance,
The monthly payment.
the credit limit,
Let's see. Yeah,
monthly
the
payment.
credit
Yep.
limit. The status. Yeah, the payment status.
Wait, where's payment?
And the date last active.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Okay, so all of you guys got them correct. So everything that you guys just said was correct. There's a lot of inconsistencies on here. But so that's what I'm saying. So imagine you guys putting all those inconsistencies in one letter, but what if they verified it for whatever reason, because they're crazy, they're lunatic, right? And they verified this account, they're like, well, we're not gonna delete it. Sending them, imagine how many was that? That was the date that was last active. That's one inconsistency, right? Now, also the payment status is also reporting inconsistently. That's 2. The high credit is also an inaccuracy. That is 3. I mean, you have more than 3 to 4 inaccuracies on here. That's 3 to 4 disputes that you could send. And what is one dispute? One dispute is 30 days. They have 30 days to get back to you. So those are like 4 rounds, like 4 months of disputes that you could use if they keep verifying that information. So as you guys can see here, this is what we like to look for when we're looking at a credit report. So I'm also, this one doesn't have it, but the account numbers, I like to look at those because a lot of the times they don't like to match up the account numbers. They'll be all over the place. I can't remember, but John may be able to confirm this, but I don't think they're supposed to be reporting X's. They should be either zeros or something else in place of an X. Don't quote me, but I'm gonna have to confirm with them. Account type, we also want to make sure that this is reporting correctly. Now for account status, sometimes they'll have open, closed, open. That's an inaccuracy. Along with the monthly payment, they are reporting on TransUnion that the monthly payment is $24. However, on Experian, they're reporting as $37, right? And then Equifax has it as $24. So once we're doing the dispute letter, I would go to Experian and I would let them know, hey, and this would be one dispute letter, right? For one inaccuracy. You guys are reporting the monthly payment as $37. And let's say you printed off the report just like this, how you have it side by side. You would let them know TransUnion and Equifax are reporting $24. Why is it that you guys are reporting $37 instead of the 24? That is inaccurate, inconsistent information, and I demand removal of this account because I am entitled to a fair and accurate credit report. And that's how you would kind of just word the letter in your own way. And if you guys need any help with that, you guys can also utilize ChatGPT to draft you up a letter if the one that Dom put in the Magic Eraser course doesn't really work for you guys. Now, the balance here also is showing as an inconsistency because it's showing as $2,272. Experian is reporting it as $3,490. That is a drastic difference for a balance. Like, that's not sitting well with me, okay? So that's how we would dispute this. Now, there's obviously multiple inaccuracies down here too, which is the date that it was last active. It's 2/29/24. Experian is reporting it as 2/1/2024. That's inaccurate. So hopefully you guys are catching the drift, but you guys also, there's a second account here. You guys can point out or let me know and mute yourselves what inaccuracies you see on this credit report.
So real quick, I do have a question. When
Yeah.
it comes to those inaccuracies, will you do the same justification, stating that, okay, well, this one is showing this, like, you get what I'm saying? Like you would say that.
Yeah, so that's how I would put it. I would tell Experian, you're reporting XYZ balance $3,000. However, TransUnion is and Equifax is reporting these that, like, I would literally state what they're reporting, 1750 and 3000. Why is it that it's inconsistent? Why is it
Correct.
inaccurate?
So
I would literally
I
point it
guess my
out.
question is, when I'm sending my letter to Equifax and TransUnion, would I use the same, would I use Experian as, okay, they're reporting differently? You get what I'm saying? For the different
Yes.
bureau, or
So it really
no?
depends. No, it wouldn't work like that unless, like, for this situation, you could, in a way. Or you know what? Let me see, because Equifax and Experian are both reporting 3. So in this case, if 2 credit bureaus are reporting $3,000, right? And TransUnion is reporting the 1750. In my dispute letter for TransUnion, I would point out that Experian and Equifax doing the 3. And then when I do Experian and Equifax for the dispute letter, I will let them know, why are you guys reporting $3,000 when TransUnion is reporting 1750?
That's my
Does that make
And
question. Thank you. Yeah.
I would also do one bureau at a time when you factually dispute, because back in the
sense?
day, like a year or two ago, girl, I think I sent all of them, and they probably put accounts back and some more stuff because I didn't know what I was doing. So I think
Okay.
this time around, I'm going to concentrate on one
One at a time.
report at a time. Yeah, because
Yes.
you can
Okay.
confuse yourself, and then they end up putting the account back on or just updating the account with the information that you sent them versus deleting it.
That's what I
Okay.
was gonna ask. What are the chances that they would just update it when you send your letter versus deleting it, Denise?
We just never know when we put in that dispute. Like, we just never know. We just have to submit that dispute and see what their response is for us to be able to send an accurate dispute back to them. We just never know.
Okay.
But don't give
Hey,
up.
Denise, I
Keep
got a
fighting.
question.
I always
Keep
got to make a
fighting.
joke about everything, y'all.
What's going on? Well, someone had a
Yeah, all right.
question.
Going back to what you said before to only attack one thing on your credit report, like just say like an inaccurate balance. Both reports you just showed, they both show the balance being inaccurate. Would it be wise if you put both those accounts in one letter and then just
Okay.
focus on inaccurate balance on both accounts?
Sorry, because my dog was a little going crazy. It was distracting a little bit. Hold on. Because I didn't hear that question. Cielo. Sorry, y'all. My dog's a little
Yes,
crazy.
no problem.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can you
We
repeat your
hollering
question?
at dogs and kids
Yeah, yeah,
today.
yeah. Like you were saying, as far as like you only attack one item at a time when you are attacking the account. So
Inaccuracy.
if you put like inaccuracies, right? So if you put like both accounts that you posted, they both show the balance inaccurate. So would it be
Yeah.
wise to put both those accounts factual disputes letter and just focus on being like, hey, these accounts show both the balance inaccurate? Would it be wise to do it like that if you could do multiple accounts? But if you see like something common with each account, like the dispute being on the balance being wrong, that way that you could just dispute one one inaccuracy but on multiple accounts.
Yes. So you just put one accuracy on multiple accounts. You can list them like this because they're two different ones. They're not the same account.
Right, but since they both show an accurate balance, there'll be something that you only focus on one inaccuracy, but it's on multiple accounts, and
Correct.
putting it on that letter.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And I want to make sure, okay. I want to make sure that I didn't miss no questions here in the chat, y'all. Sorry. Perfect.
Can you dispute on late payments? Like if it has like 30, 60, 90, is that, or 69? Do you have one of those examples?
I don't. I actually didn't pull up any of those examples. Honestly, I didn't have time for that, y'all. I didn't have time. I had to look for the ones that I could very quickly. I'll probably post one in the group, but that is another way that you could definitely factually dispute the late payments because I think it was May. If you guys are familiar with May, there was one credit bureau that reports only up to 90, I believe. And then after that, it just reports the same, like 90, 90, 90, 90. I have to figure out which credit bureau that is. Because every
It's probably
credit reporting
experience.
policy. Yeah, is it Experian?
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
because they are crazy. Like, but that is a good dispute. You know, good inaccuracy. I have car loan, and that's what they do. They'll do like 90 to 180, 60 to 90, but they won't. It'll just stay like that until what is caught up. It may be Experience. I'm just going off of my personal experience.
yeah, I can't
But
honestly remember. I can't say for sure, but we do have to verify which credit reporting agencies because they do have their own like little policies within their credit reporting.
So how should it report? It should say 30, 60, 90, 120, and then start
Correct.
over?
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. Have you ever sent? Okay. Have you ever sent factually dispute through CFPB? So I did go over this kind of in the beginning. So I was explaining that Dom recommends that you guys actually mail it with your credit reports. So now that's okay. So within her, I'm just literally I can't even talk, guys. I'm just going over what she had put in the Magic Eraser course. So she had suggested that you guys print it off and actually mail it off so that way they physically can see what's on your credit report. So I wouldn't suggest sticking to one or the other. Like I would definitely do both. Like me personally, if I just started this factually disputing, I would do both, and then I would do it like 2 weeks apart, if that makes sense, to see which one would go through, like which one got some results. Did anybody else have any questions at all
Do you
when it came
mean
down to
which
that?
inaccuracy got results or which bureau gave you the most results? I'm sorry, do you mean you said mail it so you can see which one got results? Do you mean which inaccuracy got results or which bureau got results?
No, so by that I meant like, because there's 2 ways you could do it. You can actually do it on the dispute letter. You can just list those. Let me like pull it back up here. So you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oh. So
So you're
on
saying
this letter,
between,
huh?
okay, so you're saying between listing the inaccuracies on the letter itself and actually attaching the whole credit report, basically. Like those two.
Correct. So you could do both. There isn't a right or wrong way to do it. It's just really testing out the waters to see which one they're gonna give you, which one's gonna give you results. So if I submit a letter via mail, if I actually send out the factually dispute with the physical copy of my credit report, right, through mail, I would wait. Typically, they'll give me a response between 2 weeks or so. So I would wait for that response first. If they verified that, then I would use this letter and just submit it here with the negative items listed below without the physical copy.
How do you factually dispute a collection account?
That's a good question because I've never had to do factually disputing on a credit account, but I would think that it would be the same way. You're just pointing out the inaccuracies. But by that information, I would literally, let me stop sharing my screen. If the credit reporting agencies is reporting a collection on all 3 or just the 2 credit bureaus, that's how I would be able to factually dispute if they're reporting on more than one credit bureau. Because the collection agency, I never had a contract with, so that information shouldn't even be on there. So the way I can factually dispute it is how they're actually reporting that information. But for Nini, I'm sorry, or Nana. Nana, no, I'm sorry.
Fine.
So she had mentioned that in the beginning of the class that she had inaccuracy when it came down to the date that she actually purchased her home versus, what the credit reporting agencies is reporting. Now, do they? So they have to look at it. So when it comes down to the collection agencies, there's no like real verifiable information because you never had the account with them in the first place. So I would just look up the inaccuracies when it comes down to the date that it was open, the balances, the account number. That's how I would factually dispute the collection agency.
Wait, and just to make sure, with that letter, with the credit report, it's still the same thing as far as attaching the 2 documents like proof of identity, proof of address, and all of that.
Yes, so that's what you would do via mail and CFPB. So you would still need to submit, sorry about that, I kind of forgot that part. So you do need to submit your proof of address, your social security, and driver's license, a copy of it. So can you factually dispute an open account? Yes, you can. You can definitely factually dispute an open account. Because again, you guys just have to think about it like you're entitled to an accurate report, whether it's open, whether it's closed, whether it's a collection, everything needs to be accurate because it's negatively impacting you when you go out there to apply for any type of credit. For anything that's a basic necessity in life, you're getting denied. So you are entitled for an accurate credit report.
What if the creditor sends you a statement and that balance is not reflective of the same balance that is on the credit report?
Then I
So
would
say
use
I
that
get
as
a letter,
evidence.
you'll use that as the evidence. Okay.
I would
Okay.
attach that bad boy right on there to the credit reporting agencies. Like, boom, this is what I have. These are the numbers.
And do you know right off which one of those courses is in or marking up the collection letter?
Yeah, that's in the 2-week collection hack.
2-week
Let me go
collection.
back here.
I don't know if I have. Is that in the Magic Eraser course? I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna show my screen real quick and show you where it's at if I can find it here. Share. Let me pull up here. Okay. So that would be, and then also too, they just added this into the Magic Eraser frequently asked questions. So you definitely want to check this section out because there's a lot of questions that people frequently ask, and you're going to find them there, like where is a certain dispute method in within the course.
Okay.
And then let's find it here. Disputing, validation of debt, pay for deletions. Right here, alternate dispute methods to remove negative accounts, the 2-week collection account removal. This is where it would be on how to mark up. Got it. And they also included the affidavit of truth on this portion. There you go. Perfect. Did anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
How many times we can dispute factual dispute? Basically, because you send it basically 3-4 times when we are done to disputing inaccuracy in the credit report.
So you dispute as many accuracies as you see. So if you have 10 inaccuracies on an account, then you would send in those 10 disputes if it ever gets to that point. They may delete that account that first round, and you may not have to dispute it again with those other inaccuracies. But if they don't delete it, then you have up to those 10 inaccuracies to keep disputing every inaccuracy until they delete it. And then let's say if you had 10 inaccuracies and they didn't delete the account after you submitted those disputes, then I would move on to a different method.
Okay, and what is the different method?
There's different methods like factually disputing is one. There's also Metro 2. There is the CFPB with the FTC, and all of that is covered in the Magic Eraser course. Do you have that?
Yeah, I have that. Just I checking because I send it so many times, but it's continue to say yes, accurate everything.
Like
Sometimes
verify,
I
they verified
frustrated
it?
because it's verify. I sometimes I frustrated. Basically, I stopped working on my credit because I start in October, end October. I
Mhm.
delete some accounts, but 3 accounts are still there and continue to say it's verified information. I don't know what to do right now. I use
Okay.
FTC, CFPB, factual dispute, 3 times. I do everything, but continue to say it's verified.
So what happens what do you do after they say that the account was verified?
Say it again?
What is the method that you use after they verify the account? Like, what is your next steps
Okay,
after?
the first step I use is the FTC and CFPB.
Okay.
After 35 days, it's going back to verified information. After that, I start to factual dispute. I use 3 times, it's still saying verified information.
So what
Um,
happens is that you don't want to submit another method of disputing. You want to respond to whatever they're saying that they verified. So if you disputed, let's say using the FTC and the CFPB, right? You don't want to
mhm.
submit any other disputes until you get a response from the credit reporting agencies because you want to know what method worked for you and what didn't. So you're going to wait the full 30 days. Now, if they mailed you back after you submitted your dispute that they verified this account, you want to request a method of verification. You want to create a dispute letter and respond back to the credit reporting agencies. So you want to ask them, how did you verify this account? Who did you talk to? At what
Okay.
time, what date? That's how you want to respond to them. You don't want to send in another dispute like factually disputing it because you're not answering back to the answer or correspondence that they mailed to you.
Okay, because I have today, I have respond to my bankruptcy to dispute the last 15 days, I got respond to the CFPB website, and the TransUnion say he verified the bankruptcy with the Discovery Bank.
Okay, and did you reach out to Discovery Bank to see if it was reporting there?
Yeah, it's in my credit report.
Okay, so then you need to reach out to Discovery. You need to figure out how to get that disputed and removed off of there. Wherever they say that they're verifying the information, you want to go back to that original person, they want to call him a person, original person who's verifying the account. And you want to dispute it the same way that you're disputing negative items. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you want to dispute it
Sure.
with them first and then go back to the credit reporting agencies and submit your dispute. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
I got a brief
You're
question
welcome.
about that. So,
Okay.
during when you send in your method of verification letter, do you attach the response that they sent?
Okay, I'm sorry, repeat that question.
So when you sending in the method of verification letter, do you attach the response that was sent from bureaus?
I normally don't. You can. That is a good way to go about it. But what they do is they actually have everything. They notate everything. They will notate everything in your account. But what you want done. It's just crazy. But it is good to go ahead and attach that, but you don't have to. No. Let me see. I'm gonna go up here into the questions. Do they have answered that question? I have a care credit account that was 60 days late. I used the CEO email method. They sent me an email stating that they would remove it. I requested the AUD as proof and they actually sent it to me, but through 3 rounds, the credit mafia has not removed it yet. Currently doing Metro 2. Should I CFPB it again while Metro 2 is working? Oh, that one's intense. I would be blown too. Okay, so Care Credit agreed to remove the late payment, the original creditor. And you can unmute yourself as well. But if they confirm that they were going to remove the late payment or reverse it or whatever the case may be, then I would reach out to Care Credit, whether it's via email or phone, and you're going to provide them or email them or mail them what you have for evidence stating that Care Credit stated that they were going to reverse those late payments. You want to know when they're going to update the credit reporting agencies.
Okay, yeah, they're actually what they actually did is that they actually sent me the email and then I requested the AUD. I said, I want to know the number because there's actually 2 accounts. So one account got corrected, both of them by Synchrony Bank, but the second one has been going on now for probably about 5 or 6 months. So I started the Metro 2 in it, but then I was like, okay, I wonder if I send it back to the CFPB to get it removed because I actually have a letter stating that we have sent in an AUD to have it removed and actually gave me the number.
And can you clarify what an AUD stands for or what that is for everyone within the group?
Okay, yes, the AUD is the automated universal data form that they send in to the credit bureaus when they want to update an account.
Okay, there you go. Because someone asked it within the within the chat,
Oh,
so I didn't want
yes.
to you. Yeah, so that
So,
honestly, I would
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying I was just trying to just get some just get another angle. Like I said, I'm going Metro to it. But I mean, of course, it's a war of attrition, but I'm like, what part could they be missing when I've spoken with the young lady or corresponded with her about 3 times. And
Oh, from Care Credit?
yeah, and she said, we've already sent it in. So it's like, I can't, you don't want to be the dead horse, but it's like, okay, well, they're still not moving it because her position probably is going to be, well, that's your problem. There's nothing more we can do. We've sent in the AUD. So,
did they send the confirmation? So they sent you the confirmation that they submitted that for you.
that is correct.
Okay, so yeah, at this point, you're gonna have to keep reaching out to the credit reporting agencies and keep submitting it to them until they update it because it is on their platform. Have you also tried doing I can't remember if the credit reporting agencies were on the BBB because I never had to do that with them personally on there.
I
I kind of
don't know.
Okay.
They are.
They
But I
are
wouldn't.
okay, good.
I was going to tell you, Coach Kate or Coach C, sorry. I had this situation too back before I bought my house. And you have to get a supervisor on the phone. Because if you have the AUD, essentially you have all the proof, all the data points, everything that their system is going to read, but you have to make them look at the information. So I had that situation happen when I was trying to close. They would not hear it. I had all the documentation, kept calling the reps. They would just tell me to wait until I got a supervisor, and it was fixed within 3 days.
Got it. Okay.
So
I
I would
will
get a
do.
supervisor on the phone. And that actually just happened to me today too, with my security freeze, trying to open accounts. It's supposed to have been off a month ago, got a supervisor who was off within minutes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I was muted, guys. Sorry about that. Thank you for that input. I love that. That's community helping each other. I love that. Let me see. I'm just going over everyone's questions within the messages before I step out here. When I asked for method, they advise that they do not have to give that information, that the creditor needs to send that. Well, that's not true. That is not true. They do like to play games. You definitely want to resubmit that method of verification. And then you can also hop on that phone until you get a representative that is willing to submit that over, not over the phone for you, but you want to get a rep. If you get a rep on the phone that's rude like this one and they're like refusing to give you that method of verification, you can hang up and call back again until you request and have that submitted to you via mail. Like, how did you guys verify this information? Like, you guys can't say you verified it and then not provide the proof. That it just don't work like that. I forgot to say, if you use another method, it will cancel out your initial dispute. Yes. Yes, thank you. Perfect. You guys have some good questions tonight. Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to ask before we end it tonight for factually disputing? Hopefully you guys had some insight on how to factually dispute. So hopefully that you guys start submitting some, getting ready to do some tonight. Go ahead and post anything that you guys need to post within the group to answer your questions. Obviously, if you guys need assistance or you guys are just done with the credit repair process yourself, I also offer the Done For You credit repair services, and you guys can find that in school for the link. And then I'll also post it here if you guys need it. Woo. Dom and Mikkel are amazing as usual. I'm pretty sure I'm trying to see when the next class is or what the next class is. Let me see.
So
It
I
looks
do
like
have
some.
a quick question.
Oh, uh-huh.
I'm sorry. When it
You're
comes to the when you're asking for the verification method, do they have a specific amount of time as well that they have to answer you or get that to you, or no?
I would say within the 30-day mark as well, just like any other dispute. But if I wanted to clarify that within my dispute letter, I would request it within writing. I would say I demand method of verification that you guys supply this to me within 10 business days, like something feasible for them.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to post it right now. Sorry, guys. I'm like so slow when it comes down to Zoom. You guys are welcome. Me in group chat. All right, so you guys have access to the link to where you guys can schedule a free credit analysis with me as well. And for those who, obviously some are in a good position to obtain funding when it comes down to their personal credit. So I also offer Done For You funding services. That's something that you can reach out to me via school, or whenever you get to that point where you're done repairing your credit, you can also come see me and we could do that. Wait, Mick will hop on quick. Is Mikkel here? Is he hopping on?
Yes,
Let's
he's
see.
here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. We was just about to end it. What's up, Mikkel?
Yeah, it's Mick.
Let's see. Where?
Just coming in to say hi, you guys.
Hello.
Coming in to say hi and let y'all know we not running off on y'all. Just got off a call, a mentorship call. and I seen Denise was crushing it in here. Is she crushing it in here, you guys?
Let them know. Y'all.
Yes, most definitely.
Yes.
Let him know.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, we was just throwing out some questions. They were throwing out some good questions out there tonight. So
Good, good.
Good.
It's all recorded.
perfect. I was letting them know that they have what is that next class tomorrow at 7 p.m. Is that
Yeah,
tomorrow?
let me.
It's calendar.
Yeah, I have to
Oh,
confirm
we have to
with her.
confirm that.
Okay.
Confirm that. That's the
I'm gonna
government
message her.
contract
I'm gonna
one?
message her now. Yeah, she had some family stuff like happen, so I'm gonna talk to her and
Are you
confirm.
guys excited for that? The government contract one? I don't know anything about it.
Me neither. Honestly, I would like some more info on that.
Yeah, me
Right.
too.
The first class was good.
Mm, mm, mm. But yeah,
Someone said
no.
Denise is the best support you have.
Yeah.
Thank
While
you.
he's on there, Miss Denise, could you see about getting that confirmation on what you were talking about earlier? Where you're saying
Oh,
you
about
may need to
the
confirm something?
the 30, 60, 90.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Dom, I was gonna tell them I was gonna confirm with you because I could not remember for the life of me.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the late payments, right? There's one credit bureau that will report like 30, 60, 90, and it goes up to a certain number before it just keeps reporting as the same, like 120, 120, and 20. Do you remember which credit that was? Is it
I
not?
don't.
Because I heard had May had mentioned it, but couldn't remember if you had
Hold
remembered.
on.
Text me.
All right.
Mikhail's gonna text her.
Tell me the questions to text me real quick. So
Okay, good. Dana confirmed for tomorrow night at 7. So government contracts is tomorrow night at 7.
Cool. And the question is that which credit bureau is the one that keeps reporting after a certain number, they keep reporting it as the same, like 120, 120, 120 after they hit.
Even though it's way than 120 at one point.
Right.
okay. Continues.
I'm taking baby up to bed.
Can you
In the
the
account
lady
number.
who asked that question? Can you post it in the school community? Because whenever I get the answer, I'll answer it on there. Just in case I don't get the answer anytime soon. But I do know that I do remember hearing that, but I just can't remember which one.
That's what I'm saying. And then also, I was going to confirm with you guys too, because they really wanted to know when we're looking at the account numbers and we're factually disputing, the X's, aren't they supposed to be zeros or something else?
I always just copied the X's. Like I just copied them like the exact same way it was on my credit report. I would copy it exactly like that. Now,
Okay, so it's okay if they have the X's. They don't have to have like
yeah,
a
yeah, I
number.
wouldn't put zeros. I wouldn't put zeros. If anything, I would stop at the X's. I wouldn't put the zeros because if it wasn't zeros, then they're gonna try to do something stupid. So I would just stop it at the X's if you're writing it like you're doing a letter. I'm talking about I copied and paste when I was just using the CFPB and stuff.
Okay, cool. Thanks for confirming.
Yep.
You guys heard that. Oh, perfect.
All
So you guys
right,
better
cool.
be here tomorrow night for 7 p.m. And for that answer regarding the late payments, just make sure you post it in the group, guys, so that way Mikhail can get back to you when he gets the answer.
Yeah, and you can tag me in it too. I'll make sure we answer it.
Yes. Well, it was a great class tonight, y'all. Peace.
See you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.